guys, it's Isabel. Today I'm going to talk about how I've been sleeping on the floor for the past 2 years, my experience with this, and why I think that you should start sleeping on the floor as well. So sleeping on a mattress is a relatively new phenomenon that many of us have been doing our entire lives. But have we ever really questioned if mattresses are the best surface for us to sleep on? I know you're probably thinking sleeping on the floor is really uncomfortable. Why would you do that if you could sleep on something more comfortable? But when you really think back to our evolution and how humans evolved, we evolved living in the forest. For the past thousands and thousands of years, we've been walking around the forest, sleeping on the forest floor. We did not sleep on mattresses. This is a very, very new concept for humans. Our physical bodies evolved to sleep on harder surfaces. So this is why when I converted to sleeping on the floor, I started to experience such benefits and improvements in my body and in my mind, because I was sleeping the way that we evolved to sleep. I was living the way that we evolved to live, which is why I was able to experience such amazing things. So now I'm just going to talk about the main benefits that I've experienced from sleeping on the floor. The first one is just generally feeling so much better. When I wake up now, I wake up at 6 a.m. on the dot every day, feeling so good in my body. About a week into sleeping on the floor, I started to notice I would wake up with so much energy. And I would wake up and my body would feel so good. And it would really inspire me to be super productive in the morning, get a lot of stuff done, do my yoga practice, work out. And many people hadn't even woken up yet. I didn't have to force myself to get out of bed. I just genuinely wanted to. When you sleep on a hard surface, such as the floor, the pressure actually squeezes the water out of the tissue. This tells your cells that you're a little uncomfortable, which will actually tell your brain to move your body. When you move your body throughout your sleep, this actually hydrates and loosens the fascia. The fascia is the tissue that surrounds your muscle. Soft beds, on the other hand, really inhibit the movement of your body because you're able to stay in positions for longer. The result of this is waking up feeling stiff, not feeling very great. This can really explain why I was able to gain a greater sense of back flexibility. So I was waking up every day feeling genuinely really good, really loose in my body and ready to do yoga. Every single day I practiced after sleeping on the floor, I really noticed a significant improvement in back flexibility. I had been practicing yoga for about 3 years before I started sleeping on the floor and was not able to improve my flexibility in my back virtually at all. All of a sudden, when I started to sleep on the floor, I experienced such improvements every single day. I could really notice the difference. I'm going to enter in a clip right now of my current flexibility and really show you guys the benefits I was able to get from sleeping on the floor and then practicing yoga, doing things that are really connected to our roots, how we evolved to live, how we evolved to move our bodies, and how we evolved to sleep. The second thing is me growing. So sophomore year of high school, I stopped growing. I was 5'6". I went to the doctors. My doctors told me I was done growing, blah, blah, blah. Moving forward, sophomore year of college. This is when I decided to start sleeping on the floor. And from that point to my junior year of college, 1 year, I grew an inch. So now I'm 5'7". I have no idea if sleeping on the floor caused me to grow or not. This is just anecdotal evidence, but I'm just telling you my experience. I stopped growing like 4 years prior to that, and then I was able to grow an inch. It makes sense when you look at science. When you're sleeping on the floor, you're in the body's correct posture. Correct posture allows for your body to circulate growth hormone. This circulation results in the distribution of this growth hormone throughout the entire body. This could have been the reason why I did grow an inch, because this growth hormone promoted my spine to lengthen, my body to become more aligned, and by sleeping in my body's natural position, I was able to correct my posture, and that's probably why I did end up growing an inch. I might have not actually grown, but I was able to correct my posture into a way that I am taller. The third and honestly the best benefit is cost and sustainability. Mattresses are super expensive for no apparent reason, and they tell us to get a new mattress every 5 years, which is like 15 mattresses per person in one lifetime. That's crazy because mattresses are just going to the landfill. They're not able to be recycled, and that's a big waste that you can totally cut, and it's just not necessary. Also, moving houses becomes so much easier. You don't have to tie a big giant bed onto your car. Traveling becomes cheaper and makes more sense because you can sleep in a much diverse variety of different places. You don't need some fancy bed to sleep on every night. It really allows you to feel a much greater sense of freedom. And if you're renting out a room and you're really struggling with space, getting rid of your bed can open up a lot of space in your room to allow you to do yoga, work out, dance, whatever you want. It really allows for you to get a greater sense of freedom in your life and be able to save so much more money by not having to purchase a bed. Guys, how I sleep on the floor and give you a little inspiration on how you can convert as well. I just sleep on this 5mm yoga mat, and then I put down a blanket to separate myself, and it's also not as cold when you sleep on a blanket. And then I just lay down and go to sleep, and I feel so good and rested. And when I wake up, I just throw these things out of the way and start my yoga practice.